do it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to COAGG Conversations. We are fresh. We are back. This is the first episode of COAGG Conversations for 2026, and I have the historical baddie, Age of Empires baddie, basically Bebe. Welcome.
Hello.
to Confessions
Hello,
of a Game.
everybody.
It is wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I've been really excited to be a part of this. And I think it was actually probably years ago that we met after PAX and you were telling me about Confessions of a Gamer Girl. And I was like, I want to be on that. That is so cool. So I'm really happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, yes, that feels like a lifetime ago now. And I mean, I've personally certainly grown, so I'm very glad that you waited for me to develop my skills a little bit because personally, I don't know. I've grown. Yeah, no, I always find it interesting when I meet people and I tell them about the podcast and they kind of say, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea," and then they don't follow up, if that makes sense. So I'm really glad that you did because I'm very excited to have you here. For those who don't know who you are, can you please tell everyone who you are and what you do in video games?
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. I'm basically Bebe. I'm an Aussie streamer that's been streaming on Twitch since early 2019, the pre-COVID days. That was a wild time. I have for probably about the past 6 years been streaming pretty much exclusively Age of Empires 2. I'm an RTS girly, and I think it's the most wonderful game, the most wonderful community. So I got hooked. And I've had some really amazing opportunities through doing that. Recently, though, I have been stepping away from the game a little bit. So I'm kind of in a new phase where I'm doing more variety content and kind of following my passions a little bit more as opposed to just sticking with the one game through my streams. So these days I do whatever. I'm doing different games. I play music on stream. I'm writing a musical actually. And I don't know, we just have good times. I'm creating on YouTube as well and just trying to collaborate with other Aussie creators because I think we have such an amazing community and so many people doing so many cool things. I suppose the other thing that I really focus on in content creation and on Twitch is I fundraise for the Starlight Children's Foundation. And I've been doing that, I think, for 5 years now. And I'm very, very, very proud. It's like, honestly, my life achievement. I'm so proud that my community and I have raised over $60,000 for Starlight. And I think coming from a very niche community in Age of Empires 2, it just that figure blows me away every single day. So yeah, that's a bit of a dragged out explanation of myself, but I like Age of Empires, I like music, and I love my community on Twitch.
Wonderful. Can I ask, how did you find out about Twitch streaming?
Oh, yeah. So I am so sorry, everybody. I'm a bit of a yapper, okay? Because when you ask that question, I'm like, oh,
she is on a podcast. Imagine not being a yapper on a podcast, everyone.
Imagine. I've been on one podcast before, but that was years ago and I didn't know what I was doing. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to yap about this. I came across Twitch because it all started back in probably 2016. I was dating a dude that was a competitive Smash player. And so I would tag along to all these Smash tournaments.
That is a special breed, Bebe. Like
I know. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were cheerleading for this competitive Smash player?
I was cheerleading and eventually I started helping run the tournament. So I was kind of because I tried playing the game and I was hopeless. So I was like, well, I'm not going to be a competitive Smash player. Yeah, but what if I can run the tournament? So I was helping with that. Shout out to Friday Night Smash. And yeah, through that, one of the TOs was streaming it to Twitch every Friday night. Jet Williams, and I found it really fascinating that he could do that and people could watch the game. So I made a Twitch account and I would watch. If I wasn't attending the events myself, I'd be watching on Twitch. And then I kind of forgot that Twitch existed when I kind of fell out of the scene. And then it was summer 2018, end of 2018. And I was really bored at home. It was a long summer holiday, just at home, stinking hot, lived on a farm. It was too hot to do anything outside. So I stayed inside and I was like, oh, let's see if there's anything interesting on Twitch, question mark. And I came across a streamer who was streaming Kingdom Hearts 2. One of my favorite games. And I just started watching every day. And his community was so welcoming, and he himself, Realms was his name, and he would be like, hey, my name was Little Trouble back in the day. And he'd be like, hey, Little Trouble, welcome back. And it made me feel so like welcome in this community that I just thought, I would love to do this for other people. I don't know if I could, but I would love to try and create a welcoming, wholesome online space that people can look forward to coming in every day. And so I thought I'd give it a go. And thankfully, it kind of worked out.
Yeah, here you are.
Here we are.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting background. But I will say, and this is, something that I've discovered about most women in this space, it's always very transformative and always just an organic part of their life leading up to, their career in games or their streaming journey in video games. So don't feel weird about, the BB lore because because it's fantastic. You've covered a number of my questions, which is you're doing my job for me.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Hit me with them anyway.
You mentioned that you actually obviously from when you were watching to when you were fully streaming, and I noticed on like your Starlight announcement things, you are still Little Trouble, and then you moved to basically Bebe. Was there a reason why you did that?
Yes. Yeah, there was. And it is kind of related to the whole story of how I got into Twitch through my ex Smash 4 competitive player boyfriend. And his name, shout out to him, Big Trouble, was his gamer tag. So when I made my Twitch account, I was known in the scene as Lil Trouble, and that was fine. Like, we broke up, it's whatever. I stuck with the name. Didn't feel weird about it or anything, but I did know that deep down there was that association with him, which again, fine, no bad feelings, whatever. But it was a link with another person that wasn't in my life anymore. And I got to the point where I actually just wanted to be my own person. And I wanted to have my own online identity that wasn't actually linked with anybody else. And it was just purely myself. It was actually a really hard decision to make because I'd become known in the Age of Empires 2 community. Like I said, it's a niche game. It's a pretty tight community. I'd been known by this name, and I'd gone to events as this name, and I'd hosted things as this name and done all these tournaments, whatever, as Little Trouble. And everyone had nicknames for me. It was really wholesome, Lil T, like whatever. So I knew that I would be shooting myself in the foot a little bit in terms of like my content creation growth, my channel growth, and being recognizable, whatever. But it was still something that I felt I had to do just to put that part of my life behind me and not have that association anymore. So I chose the name basically Bebe because I did just want it to be just me. And that's my name. Bebe is my name. I will say, though, for anyone out there that finds this relatable and might think, oh, I want to change my name. I have regrets about making it my IRL name as well. Because
really? Interesting.
Absolutely. Like I love that I'm basically Bebe online, and I love that people just call me my name and there's that kind of connection. But it is extremely hard keeping my work life and my non-online life out of my online life. And I work at a school,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
as you can imagine, kids, teenage kids, 12-year-olds, they want to
Mm.
know. They want to know
Mhm.
all about you, and it's not hard to find me online now that the name is essentially the same. So that is my only
Yeah.
regret. But overall, I am still glad I did it. I did indeed shoot myself in the foot, completely tanked my kind of like the growth that I was having at the time, the
Mm.
trajectory.
Mhm.
But that is a sacrifice I was willing to make for the freedom of the name change.
Being yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Uh, I mean, as someone who does have an online name that is just themselves, not linked to anyone, thank goodness, because then I wouldn't have to go through a rebrand. Um, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoy having that separation. I
Yeah.
originally did it because of my actual career. I started so I was I've played Xbox for a long time, and I realized that because my Xbox, my previous one was my actual full blown
Oh.
name. No numbers after it,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
just because my name is actually quite unique, or the spelling is anyway.
Mm.
And I was like, "I can't," because I was teaching as well, I was working at school as well.
Yeah.
I I realized I did have to separate that,
Yeah.
so yeah, I personally have enjoyed it. Would you recommend that women do that, or if any streamer or content creator does do that?
Do you mean do that as in just
Create a
having
separate
Oh, yeah.
username. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, yep, because, again, the only regret that I have with the name that I settled on is just how easy it is to find me if you're outside of
Yeah.
my little online world. Um, but, yeah, I think it is just something that people do need to consider for their own safety. Like, it is not hard
True.
to it's really not hard to find a lot of info about me out there. And I was very naive about that when I started streaming and just being online in general.
Mm.
So thankfully, like nothing bad has come from it for me, but I know that I have been lucky and I have been part of a very safe community. And I
Yeah.
know that the general online space out there can be pretty volatile, and especially for women, seem to be
Mhm.
a pretty surefire target for anyone that, wants to be weird in that way. So I think it is
Yeah.
a pretty good safety measure to just have that separation from IRL details.
Yeah. Correct. Yes, I agree. Definitely. But you know what? So did you have any like strategies for this new name change, like moving forward? Like, let's say someone out there is like, you know what, I really want to change my name because actually I have a similar story to you, and
Mm.
I just want to be myself. Like, what would you recommend like people do like to take the steps to make that happen for themselves?
Yeah, I think do a level of kind of planning around it. I think if you're going to go for a name change, it's kind of like an opportunity for a bit of a branding change, a refresh, and you can really make an event out of it. And I think that can be kind of like new year, new me, or whatever it is. It can be something that's like a milestone in your journey that can be celebrated. It's a turning point. It's a marker of growth and development. And I think that's something
Mm,
that should be celebrated. Um,
definitely.
so I think just doing a bit of planning into how you want to make that a big deal, if you do. If it's like a small change and you actually want the opposite, you don't want it to be a big deal, I think that's absolutely possible too. But yeah, if you are like, new year, new me, I need to change, I need to switch it up for whatever reason, I found that it was really fun to, change the branding, update everything I could possibly update, make a little announcement of it, make a bit of a big deal about it, because I
Mhm.
found that that really reignited my passion and my enthusiasm for content creation. It kind of gave me an excuse to just revamp that, pump it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a fantastic, and especially, if you line it up with, like you say, new year, new me, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it can definitely be very rejuvenating for
Yeah.
creators. Um, did you have any difficulties, like with, for example, your charity people? Like, did you have to inform them, like even if you were doing any collaborations, like brands, things like that? Did you like send out an email to them or anything like that, or did you
Not
just kind of wait
really,
for them to
honestly. Yeah.
realize?
It was a little bit of a wait for them to realize, but I also did kind of bank on, if I am making, which I did, I made a bit of a big announcement out of it and put it all across, whatever social platforms I've got out there. I did just kind of trust that the people that need to know will see that. And I think that is
Mm.
how it worked out. Yeah, I actually can't think of anyone that I specifically went to being like, hey, just FYI, this is happening. I just made a big
Okay.
post about it in my Discord. I posted probably a screenshot of the announcement on Twitter and whatever, and people just kind of got the idea.
Sure. Okay.
I still have
Excellent.
people that like I hop into their streams, and I really love this actually. There's some people whose streams, I used to be active in when I was Little Trouble, and then I hop in now as basically Bebe, and they still call me Little T, and I love that actually.
Okay.
And like
Oh,
I don't mind it at all. And they're like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't call you that. I was like, call me whatever. Like it doesn't matter. It's actually quite nice
yeah.
that we've got this history of years now
Yeah.
of being
Yeah.
in this little family of a community. And yeah, it kind of gives me a little kick when people are like, hey, little T.
I can see that you're really passionate about community. Do you think that's because you did start in the Age of Empires community?
Absolutely. Yeah. I honestly owe it all to that. Technically, I never planned to become an Age of Empires girly. I was
Mm.
streaming like Horizon Zero Dawn, We Love Katamari, whatever. I was just streaming games that I had. And then one day, this is like early, probably first month of streaming, my capture card died. And I was like, oh, ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's just play something on PC. And I was using my
Mm.
boyfriend at the time's PC to stream.
Mhm.
And I saw that he had Age of Empires 2. And I never really played Age 2. I played a lot of Age of Empires 1 as a kid and a lot of Age of Mythology as a kid, but never really got into Age 2. But I streamed it that day, and I had a lot of people coming in, and they were quite active in the chat because they could tell I'm a brand new player, and
Yeah.
pretty much everyone
Yep.
just wanted to help. And
Okay.
that was a really nice thing because as a brand new streamer, not affiliated, not anything, completely new to Twitch as a streamer,
Mhm.
I really appreciated having people to chat with, people that were active in chat, right? And whenever I would stream Age, chat was popping off because they were like, you should make skirmishes. I was like, I don't know what that is,
What
but
is it?
thank
I
you.
don't know
I'll
what that is.
try. And so I
What
had
is
a
that?
lot of assistance. And yeah, so I just clicked that, okay, well, if when I stream this game, people are in my chat and active and I enjoy that, then I'll just keep
Mm.
streaming the game. And at first, I was
Okay.
titling my Twitch streams Age of Empires Day 1, Age of Empires Day 9, whatever. I think it got to day 12, and I was like, stuff it, we're sticking with this game. I'm not counting the numbers of this anymore. It's just this until I get sick of it, and I never got sick of it. The community in Age is honestly phenomenal. Like, of course, there are bad eggs. Every community has their bad eggs.
Mm.
But I think because it's a game that released in 1999, the community as a whole is a bit more mature. And it's really beautiful to be playing games with strangers in Age 2 and for them to pause and be like, sorry, just need a few minutes, got to put my kid to bed. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
take all the time you need, brother. Like that's so fun.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
okay.
So polite,
Yeah.
so lovely. So that's been my experience with playing against people in the game, playing with people in the game, but also the
Mhm.
community on Twitch. I think it's just an older game. The viewer base is
Yeah.
older. It's not like the typical stereotype of like Fortnite kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sorry to
definitely.
stereotype, but it's just
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I personally, I stream World of Warcraft, and it's not as bad
Yeah.
as, Overwatch, Fortnite, all that kind of
Yes.
stuff, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
whatever. So I do understand, what you mean there.
Mm.
I personally have not played, Age of Empires,
Yet.
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 I'll put that in there because I never say never. Um, but so obviously from that, you're obviously, a young woman in this space. And I suppose, well, from what I've seen, there are a number of young women who are getting into this game.
Mm.
How did the Age of Queens start? And because I noticed you're a bit quiet on the gram these days.
Yes.
So
Yes.
is there something to look forward to? And tell everyone what it is, because they think
Yeah.
I'm speaking mumbo
Oh,
jumbo.
oh, one sec. Bam. We just need a little refresh on the cam. Hello. Yeah, so Age of Queens. Oh, I love. Okay, it's just a women community in Age of
Mm.
Empires 2, and it's truly that simple. We have a clan in game. We have a Twitch team on Twitch, and it
Mhm.
basically started with myself and a fellow Age of Empires girly, Tiny Triss. And I actually don't remember really how it started. We just decided we wanted to make a team for the women and the femme presenting players out there
Yeah.
because in RTS, I'm sorry, but we are absolutely a minority. Like it's
What
so
what kind of
evident.
percentage do you think?
That's so hard to say because I think
Or just from your experience, perhaps?
well, I think there are a lot more women players than you would think, but we are
Yeah.
in the shadows, if that makes sense, because it's a
Yeah.
very male dominated scene, especially when you're involved in the competitive scene.
Mhm.
It's extremely male dominated. And so while there are women out there, they're not really, there's just not as many, but they're also not as as seen,
Seen.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So we wanted to create a group where women could come together and, again, just a bit of a safe space. Have the
Mhm.
women come together and play with each other so they know that they can play games and not have to deal with being targeted, being harassed because they're a
Mm.
woman playing a medieval RTS. So we made Age of Queens. I think it launched with 12 streamers, 12 women streamers off the top of my head. And since then, it has grown tremendously. I
Mm.
don't know the exact numbers. I should have come prepared with that. But
That's
point
okay.
is, it's big now.
Mhm.
And
Bigger than you
and
thought
I'm
anyway.
yeah, bigger than we thought. Yeah, definitely. And we've hosted tournaments. We're still hosting tournaments. Yeah, we do a lot of fun things, and it's just nice that there is a community and that we can show the other women out there in the game or interested in getting into Age of Empires 2 that there are women in this game. Like you won't be the only ones. And
Yeah,
here we
yeah.
are, and there's some amazing people in here, and we can play games together and just have a good time, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think women creating these spaces, it's not necessarily like go away boys,
Mm-hmm.
girls only with a
Mm-hmm.
with a with a with a Z. Um,
Yes.
it's not really about that. It's not about excluding men. It's about making sure that women feel comfortable and confident to enjoy their hobby. And it doesn't matter what that is. But it's something that men don't really need.
Mm-hmm.
Men
Oh,
don't need to feel like they have permission to enjoy a hobby. They will go out there. If they're starting something new, they're like, "Yep, I'm doing this hobby, this thing," and they don't care. They don't need other
yes.
people to reiterate to them that this is okay.
Yes. You nailed it. You nailed it with that. And I honestly have a terrible memory. I don't remember a whole lot about how we started Age of Queens and when we launched it and everything, but I do remember some people being offended that we were
Yes.
excluding the men. And it's like, what do you mean? You have the whole game. You have every
Yes.
tournament. You have, it's all there for you, and you know that you belong. It's not necessarily the case, the same feeling, the same vibes, the same acceptance, and, perceived inclusivity for women. Because, especially in Age of Empires 2, I don't know why, maybe, I don't know whether it's RTS, I don't know whether it's, because it's a medieval war game, whatever the reason is, there is a certain reaction to there being women in the community. And it pisses me off because I don't want to be all like, oh, let's draw attention to the fact that this person is this gender. I don't think it needs to matter in general until it gets to the point where people are, being, I'm describing this really badly, but being singled out for being a woman, and usually in a negative way, and usually in a very condescending way.
I'm completely with you on that train of thought, because men will never talk about gender unless there is a chick up there playing a game that they love.
Yeah.
They will never say, oh, gee, it's all guys.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like
it'll never come up. But if there's a girl up there, they'll be like, oh, well, she's just, DEI.
Yeah.
Like they're just putting her up there because she's a girl. I can play better than that.
It's the default expectation that it's about the men. And you see that everywhere. You see it in, like, football. Are we watching the football or are we watching the women's football?
It's football. Yeah. I personally, and I've seen this in esports in particular, there's esports and then there's women esports.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is not an issue. I can understand there's men's hockey, there's women's hockey, like, because of muscle mass, because of,
there's a difference.
men will, I understand that. Okay. However, in an esport setting where you're sitting on your bum, surely there is a little difference. If we're talking about reaction times, all that kind of stuff, there's actually no difference.
Yeah.
There's no scientific evidence that says that there is a difference between men and women in regards to reaction times. I can't remember the name of this person, probably because I deleted him from my memory. But there was a member of an esports team that did say that women who are esports players, if they're worse players if they have when they have their period. I don't know if you saw that one.
No.
His team actually let him go, and they were made to.
That's diabolical.
I know. But yeah, it's constant in every single community in a game that was made in 1999.
Yeah.
Okay, and still is receiving this amount of feedback. Like, so many women have played this game. Women make up, over 50% of the gamers. It's just so strange that this still exists.
Yeah, it feels.
Sorry, I'll get off my high horse now.
No. Stay on that horse. No, but it does feel very, a very outdated mentality. And I do want to still give credit to the Age of Empires community. There are a lot of people out there, a lot of men in the community that do a great job of defending the women in the scene and sticking up for us. There is a big group that do that really, really well, and that is why I've been able to, like, stay in the community so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still too many comments of, oh, she's a girl Age of Empires player. Oh, and like I can't think of many off the top of my head.
Where's her OnlyFans link?
Yeah, shit like that. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear, but I'm passionate about it. Light. That'll be my one token is spent. But yeah. This game is so cerebral. How can you expect to keep up? Someone genuinely said to me, this game is too cerebral for me. And there's
Okay.
been many more comments. And, you know, when we're watching the professional scene, competitive players, and, you know, let's say the top 50 of the top 50 in the latest tournament ladder, one was a woman,
Yeah.
I believe, Gabby. She's amazing. And, you know, if you're watching a tournament of these professional players, top 50, whatever, and they've got their cameras on, I am not seeing comments about X player is looking X, Y, and Z today, or yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada, or used to
Yeah.
look like this, now looks like this. But as soon as you see a woman on screen,
Yeah.
suddenly it's okay to talk about it. And I just hate the double standard there. And I think it's so outdated that people are still just, you know, letting men exist and just do their thing. As soon as a woman
Mm.
comes on screen, oh, let's criticize. Let's talk about her
Jeez.
appearance. Let's talk about her menstrual cycle. Like, that's absurd.
I know.
It's time
I
for it
know.
to end.
So if people out there, if look, you're probably not watching this. This is not getting to your algorithm.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware of that. But you
Don't
might
worry,
know.
just send it to your mates. Send it to the men in your
You'll
circle.
just tag them. Just
Mhm.
I'd love to have a chat with them because
Oh, you've dropped. Am I here?
you are here.
You're back.
You are
You're
here
back.
with
Okay.
me. You are here with me.
We're good.
Here. If you are a human being, okay, you are walking this planet, okay, with other people, okay? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? But you have to realize if you're going to complain about women being in these spaces or femme presenting people being in these spaces, you are the reason why we have to create special places
Yes.
for them. So I got a lot of flack about Confessions of a Gamer Girl. They were like,
Really?
you're not gonna have men on the podcast? I'm like, do you really think there needs to be more bald men with microphones?
I was
No.
literally before we started this session, I was watching the video. Let me see it. It is called, give me a sec. It's worth it.
It's okay.
It's worth it. It's
worth
from
it.
Bumbag, another white boy with a podcast. Listen to that song, folks. Listen to that song. Another white boy with a podcast. Slaps.
Look, and this is not the only time it comes up is when I'm asked why. Like, I don't go about my everyday complaining about men being on podcasts. I might react, but you know, it's not something that I operate thinking about. And
Yeah.
there was a joke, and I have mentioned this before. Someone decided to comment because before Confessions of a Gamer Girl, I was on another podcast, and it was an all male lineup, and it was an Xbox centric podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I announced on that podcast that I was creating Confessions of a Gamer Girl, an all female podcast, basically because no woman wanted to step foot on the podcast I was on, and anyone that did was either like the most amazing, strong woman I'd ever met, or they said no, and like that. So, and I knew that obviously the vibes were off. Anyway, so from that announcement, they were talking to someone else in a live chat, and I just happened to be there. And they mentioned my podcast. They congratulated me about my podcast. Then they decided in the comments to write, "Oh, the PMS squad." That's what they called my podcast.
Oh my
I
God.
did think about rebranding the whole podcast that hot with fallopian tubes included.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you know, I thought maybe not. Maybe just maybe a segment of PMS chat. But what I'm saying is there is no matter, you know, no matter what space like we are in, we're constantly questioned about who we are and what we're doing there. Like, it does not we're not ever asked questions about, you know, the game or like it's you know, why we play it, or like what's your favorite part, or it's always very heavy, and it's always, and at the end of the day, made to justify why we're there.
Yeah. Yeah, and
It's
I
very
also feel
unfortunate.
like for women in any online space, again, this is maybe just the circle that I'm in. I'm not sure. Because I'm definitely in a bit of a bubble. But I feel like there's a kind of celebration of a strong woman that can put up with all these disgusting comments, and like you've got to be strong to make it, kind of thing. And that is where the focus is, and I don't often see a lot of focus on the issue of the people making those comments. It's all about, be strong, girl, you're so strong, wow, you put up with so much, I'm so proud of you. And not a whole lot, again, maybe I just don't see it, but there's not a whole lot of shunning of a person that has just been disgusting online. It's up
Yeah.
to the woman to, like
It's onto
yesterday,
the
I was
victim to
streaming.
prove themselves.
Yeah, I was streaming
Mm.
yesterday, and it was just like a weird comment, and along the lines of, "Oh, you look so much more beautiful in your profile pic than you do, actually." And,
Whoa!
like, that's
Oh my
actually,
god.
unfortunately, that is very tame compared to a lot of comments I've received over the years. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I've just kind of had to become really desensitized to it, because I'm actually not this tough girl that can, tough, strong
Mm.
woman that
Yeah.
doesn't take no flack from nobody. Like I'm actually, and I don't want to be, because I'm actually
I
a
know,
big
yeah.
softie, and the comments do really get to me. And
Yeah.
there's just the expectation that, you will have to put up with this, or you'll have to learn how to manage this, or you're going to have to be very vigilant with blocking a lot of words in your bot to stop this from ever
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And I feel like the responsibility is on me and my mods. Shout out to them, because they have, oh my goodness, they have blocked so many people. My
Yeah.
ban list on Twitch is insane. I didn't realize how long it was. I looked through it recently and I was like, what? My mods are amazing. They always put a comment, and it's all the comments for why this person has been banned is just disgusting. And I'm glad they were banned preemptively or in the moment before I could see it, because I don't have the toughness to actually put up with that,
Yeah.
and I shouldn't have to. So
I
again, shout
completely
out to my
agree.
mods for like protecting me, but they shouldn't have
Yes.
to protect me, and I shouldn't have to protect myself.
I think we need to celebrate women more for not being strong, but maintaining who they are, and whether you're a boss ass bitch or whether you're a big softie like yourself, it is a spectrum, and the spectrum exists also throughout our life as well. We're very multifaceted as well. So, sometimes we're a big softie and sometimes we're a boss ass bitch. It just it depends.
Yeah.
But I think being able to be yourself consistently online and show up for yourself and the community that matters is the
Mm.
thing that needs to be celebrated. And, you do have a lovely essence across your social medias. You do seem very
Thank you.
approachable, very lovely. Your work with charities, your lovely cosplays, like just I can really see that you're a very creative woman, and creative women are big softies most of the time, like
Yeah.
very, in touch with their feelings and the feelings of, the characters of the games that they play. Like bringing an Age of Empires 2 character to life is no small feat. Like you are
Thank you.
looking at some, pixelated thing, but you're bringing yourself, the emotions of the game, to something that is real life, and there is something just so spectacular about that.
Mm.
So you know what? I'm not gonna congratulate you for putting up with that shit online. I'm gonna congratulate you on your ability to continue to be creative,
Mm.
to be imaginative, and to do what is you're passionate about.
Mm. Thank you. Yeah, and
You're very
it's
welcome.
like, I consider it such a privilege to be able to be who I am authentically online. Like when I started streaming, I was a lost sheep, and I've been able to gain so much confidence and honestly develop my public speaking skills and just develop my sense of who I am across the
Yes.
past 7 years that I've been streaming to people on the internet. Honestly, it's an
Mhm.
amazing privilege, and I consider myself so lucky to have just fallen into a beautiful community. Whether it's people from Age of Empires or people that have found my channel in other ways, it's not just Age of Empires, but the people that have stuck with me and allowed me to feel safe enough to be myself makes it so worth it for me, and it makes me like not care actually as much about the
Yeah.
shocking comments and the weirdos and whatever.
Yes.
Like, I understand, unfortunately, it is a part of it. If I'm going to be online in any capacity, it's a part of it. I wish it wasn't, but I'm realistic. But
It's
the
not why
people,
you do it.
yeah. So the people that have been with me for years now, that's why I do it. Like, and that's why I love it so much. And I just really feel so lucky to have a platform where I can raise $60,000 for sick kids, and
Hell yeah.
where I can play music on stream, even if it sounds terrible, which I listened back to it yesterday and I was like, my microphone is not picking up my guitar this whole time. It's been months, but it's okay. I'm relaxed. It's okay. It's so fine. I'm not crashing out about that. We're all good. I just have a fun time, and I want other people to be able to have anything close to the experience that I've had, because it's been the best. I traveled to Germany for an Age of Empires 2 tournament, and I met all these people in person, and it's been amazing. And like, I've done so many cool things and had such an overall positive experience that I just want nothing less than for other people out there, whether they're considering starting streaming or they've already started. I just want everyone to have a really good time.
Yeah, that's it. That's so fantastic. I love that you're putting all of your passions into your stream, and you are, like you say, you've gone into not just Age of Empires, but you're putting your music out there, all that kind of stuff. Before I do move on to another topic, if anyone does want to join your Queen of Ages like Discord group, anything like that, how do they get in contact?
So probably easiest way, less work for anyone, is the least amount of work, I mean, is just to message me on Discord. I'm just basically Bebe on Discord, and I can send you the links for Age of Queens, whatever, if you're interested in getting into the game, whatever, if you're interested in starting streaming. Like, I love helping people setting up OBS or whatever they want to use. So I think just, basically Bebe on Discord, shoot me a message and we can go from there.
Excellent. I'll put all those details down below for you all in case you are interested. Now, you mentioned at the beginning you're writing a musical.
Yeah. Yes.
So how's that going? What's going with that?
It is great. Yeah. So it's actually a bit of a conglomeration of my two big passions. So it's a musical about Age of Empires. And I'm gonna I need to turn the fan on because I'm getting really heated in here. One sec.
Okay.
Okay. The musical. So basically, it's a bit of a journey. What I've done.
Is it funny? Is it like?
No, it's meant to be dramatic. It's meant to be a dramatic musical.
Okay.
Hello, cat.
Okay.
So I've started making a musical, and every song, there's about 21 songs, and they're all inspired by the original Age of Empires 2 soundtrack.
Okay.
So I'm making it, like, I'm creating the songs myself, but there's definitely a lot of familiar tunes and, the instruments and the themes of the original soundtrack songs. I'm taking that and then kind of creating something out of it. The story is basically, in Age of Empires, typically the most kind of typical in my realm of playing competitively is 1v1 on the map Arabia. So that is where the musical is set. And you have a villager from player 1 and you have a villager from player 2, and while their villagers are at war, they fall in love, and they
Oh,
realize that they're on opposite teams. They are enemies by all means. So then the player 2
we love a
villager,
star-crossed
spoilers,
lovers. We love.
exactly. So the player 2 villager stumbles upon a monastery in the wild,
Mhm.
in the forest. And if you guys don't know about Age of Empires, there is a unit called the monk that can convert. Like you might know the meme, Wallalo, and you go from blue to red, whatever. You change teams. So the villager runs into a monk and makes the choice to be converted, so that the two villages can be together and they won't be enemies anymore. They'll literally be converted enemies to lovers. That's the plot is still a little bit in development, but the songs are getting there. And then the big plan for it is to make it a playable campaign in the game with potentially variable outcomes based on how you play through the campaign missions.
Okay.
Yeah, so it sounds like a lot. It's a big
Sensational.
project. I've been working on it
Yeah.
for about a year now, and it's very slow progress because it's very I'm still just in the writing the song phase,
Yep.
which is very intense. Takes a lot of brain power and a lot of creative power. But it's getting there, and it's just really fun to work on because, like I said, it's kind of the mix of both my loves. And while I'm not playing Age of Empires anymore, it's a way for me to still be involved in the game in some way.
Oh, well, that's very exciting. And I'm sure lots of people who are in your community or might be new to your community and love Age of Empires, I'm sure, they'll be very impressed with what you bring out. And I'm
Yeah,
very excited.
thank you. I stream the work in progress, and I would
Mhm.
probably guess if I had to guess when I would be finished. Honestly, it's not going to be for years. Like, this is a big project. I would
Yeah.
think like 2030. I'd be pretty
Whoa.
happy if I
Okay.
finished it
Okay.
in 4 years, because it's one thing to make all the songs, but then another to actually create the maps in the game and
Okay.
create all the different triggers for all the things that are happening. And
That are going to happen.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
very,
And then adding the
very bad at
variables
that
and.
stuff. Yeah. So, and
Mhm.
then kind of creating cinematics for before and after each mission. So it's honestly a major project. And I say 2030 because I don't want to rush it. I don't want to burn
Yeah.
out on it. I just want to take my time. And if I'm working on it so slowly, then I feel like I'm maintaining that excitement to work on it, as opposed to being like, oh, what a grind. Like, this is such a drag. I have to keep working on this. So
Yeah. You don't want to
that's
lose
the
steam
musical.
in something that needs so much love. Well done. And I
Thank
can't
you.
wait. I'll
Thank
be
you.
up in 2030. Oh my
Yes.
God. I'm just trying to calculate how old I'll be. Oh, okay. I'll probably, yep. Okay. Yep.
Yep. That's right. We'll still be gaming. We'll still be
We'll
around.
still be gaming. We'll still be
Yeah.
here. We'll still be here. Bebe, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything that you want to let the community know before we head off?
Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I thought to mention, but I'm pretty sure we kind of covered it all. All I'll say is, again, shout out to the Age of Empires 2 community. They truly are the best. And I know it's a very niche game. It's an old game, whatever. The definitive edition is beast. So if it's something you think you might enjoy, again, message me on Discord. The game is on sale right now. Like, it's a good time to give RTS a go. And honestly, the community is just phenomenal. And the other thing I'd say is that I will be fundraising for Starlight again this year, and I'm really wanting to collaborate with as many people as I possibly can. I want to reach $80,000 total raised, so it's a really big goal. It's 20,000 in 1 year, which is very much pushing it, but it's for an incredible cause. So if anyone wants to be involved in any way, it doesn't have to be Age of Empires. It doesn't have to be musical. It can be, hey, we've literally never spoken, but I want to help with your charity fundraiser. Just message me. Let's get in early. Let's make it happen.
Sounds wonderful. And once again, I will put all of the links to Bebe's social media and all of her projects down below. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. It's been a fantastic episode and our very first 2026 episode of COAGG Conversations. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we will see you next time for another episode of Confessions of a Gamer Girl. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.